What our research shows is that if you look back in history, the single most important predictor of economic and financial trouble is when a country takes on too much debt over a short span of time. Because if a country does that, it's bound to make bad loans, it's bound to make bad investment decisions, because there's no way that you can lend too much money and find enough credit-worthy borrowers to make the right decisions with that money over a short span of time. If a nation takes on too much debt over a 5-year time horizon, the next 5 years typically tend to be very bad for a country. Now, as far as China is concerned, there is no developing country in history which has taken on so much debt over such a short span of time as China has done in the after-crisis era. That's why I remain so concerned about China, which is that China's debt as a share of its GDP keeps going up over time. And today, it's taking $4 of debt to create $1 of GDP growth in China. In the first quarter, that number was as high as 6-1. At the peak of the US housing bubble in 2008, it was taking $3 of debt to create $1 of GDP growth in the United States. So that's how addicted to debt China has become, and why I remain so worried about China's economic prospects going forward. So even though I was for much of my working life in awe of China, given how much China had achieved and how well it had done on many of the rules that I look at in the book, from its consistent zeal for reforms, from the way that its leadership would keep changing and re-energizing itself every few years, from the way that it made use of its geography, from the fact that its demographics were quite favorable for many years, and how it relied so much on a cheap currency to export its way to prosperity. But now my biggest concern is that, like all economic miracles, China is facing a point where the debt is so high that that miracle comes to an end.